We're just going to get rolling here, roll with the punches. We got some tech stuff going on, but we're going to dive right in. We have a lot to cover, very limited amount of time, and we're very excited to see you here and for our webinar today. From startup to nine figures, a proven shark playbook that's built billion-dollar brands. And here's some ground rules that I want to share with you. Of course, now we have webinar slides not working. Everything. Ground rules here, just as you're coming in. Couple of things, my friends. You're already here, okay? So get rid of the distractions, clear out, close your other browsers. I love the fact that we can do Zoom webinars and meet here over Zoom. But the fact is, the downside of that is, there's a lot of easy distractions. So make sure you close your other browsers. You're actually focused and you're here because it's always about that one golden nugget that you can take and apply into your business that you may have missed, right? So take notes. If you're like me, I've got a notepad, okay? And I take notes regularly when I attend things like this, and don't steal that time away from you. And congrats to you. You showed up. That's half the battle, right? You showed up to be here today. So don't rob yourself of that opportunity. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also do us a huge favor. I know it's very tempting and we have to set this with webinars when we do them is please don't spam. Please don't pitch the chat. And we'll just unfortunately have to remove you. No negativity. We're all here to learn and engage and be engaged. Be engaged in the chat. Love to hear from you. And make sure you stay until the very end. We have a big announcement for you. Now, who are we doing this for? Some of you in the room here may be just starting up, right? Some of you may be getting your business started. Some of you may be on the path of trying to break your first million. And some of you are possibly already doing tens of millions in sales and you want to go bigger. You want to scale to that nine-figure level. Well, that's what this is all about. You're in the right room. And our aim, and we've done it dozens and dozens of times, is one of you on the meeting today may be the next $100 million company, right? The next big brand. That's what we want to see. That's what we're here to empower you for. And a main part of this too, folks, is whatever level you're at, as you're building to hundreds of millions in sales, is doing it right small so that you're set to scale, right? If you structure your business properly for the first 100K, right? Getting in your first 100K, or you're past that, getting to the million or 5 million or, $10 million, where it really becomes a lot more about your people than yourself. You have to do it right small so that you're set to scale. And those are some of the things that we want to share. And then something important, I've learned this over the years, is it's really not about, it's not about what you know or who you know, but at the end of the day, who knows you? That's the power of business. You can do all the right things. You could have the best product and service in the world. That's why we're, a marketing mindset first, from your customers to strategic relationships, is not about what you know or who you know, but who knows you. And we see you. We see that you invested the time, you registered to show up today, and you're here. And so we acknowledge that. Okay. Now, a little bit of background. Some of you may see me before, may have not. Austin, we made it work out. Good to see you, brother. I just wanted to unshare my screen here, just see what everyone's seeing. We're good. Check, check, check. Let me pull this back up. Some of you may have been in other webinars. Some of you, I know you came from the ShipTime, the paid team, or social media, have never even seen or heard of me before. And some of these other gentlemen, I'm sure you've heard of Kevin Harrington, the original shark, Austin Lewis as well, who I'm about to introduce. But I'm like many of you. I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I started in your seat. I attended webinars. I learned. I invested in myself. And I eventually realized investing in myself is a stage of this, but investing in other people and getting around other people. And I've had the pleasure and the honor of working with, Kevin for a few years now. It all started with a relationship. So, I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I did my first $10.8 million in sales in my early 20s, have gone on, built, a number of companies over the years, and now to today, which brings me as a growth advisor shareholder with Big Brand Ventures, okay, which is, Kevin is the founder and chairman of, and we're an investment advisory, growth partner that helps to scale nine-figure brands. So remember when I said you may be the next, nine-figure company on this call here today. Well, that's what we're looking for. We're ultimately looking for great companies that we can partner up with. And, on the flip side, I've done some, podcasting, 8 years, over a decade in marketing. My curriculum's used in universities and all that fun stuff. But I am the small fish in the big pond here today. I'm just going to pause so everyone can see you, Austin. I'll share your screen back up, but welcome. Good to see you. You're actually calling in from the Toronto office here today.
Thanks, Connor. It's great to be here with everybody and looking forward to an interesting conversation.
Me as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone, this is really an honor and a privilege having Austin here. We've gotten to know Austin, over a period of time. He's become a good friend, a mentor, a partner in Big Brand Ventures. He's the CFO, CEO of Paid and ShipTime, publicly traded companies, and also CEO of Lewis Asset Management. He's, built businesses, scaled businesses, had several successful exits, very heavy previous roles in some well-known investment firms like RBC, Puglisi, Thompson Davis, Branch Cable Co., and so on. And as I mentioned, now is an investor advisor in Big Brand Ventures, and he's a pretty cool guy. I mean, we got Cam here from Modern Family. I'm sure you recognize this man, Jay Leno's Garage, and what Aerosmith, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Do you want to just expand a little bit on your background? You're a very humble guy, Austin. So like I'm giving you permission to brag about yourself. Any other areas, details you want to share, with everybody here today?
Well, thanks, Connor. I appreciate you having me, and it's good to be here with everybody. Sorry for the little bit of the slow start, but we're all here now. And yeah, so I got started very early entrepreneurially, and always was interested in kind of the next interesting idea. And most of that curiosity kind of led me to being a self-starter and investing in lots of different public and private companies. That kind of led me to New York City and Wall Street when I was very young. Worked for a successful hedge fund manager by the name of Rick Schottenfeld, who was a guest host on CNBC very frequently back in the late 90s, early 2000 time period, and did really well with Rick, and decided to start my own asset management business, hedge fund in New York City. And grew that business significantly from less than $1 million of assets under management to $300+ million of assets under management. And most of that growth actually came from performance. So, making money, the hard way, which is earning it versus asking other people for it. But I've had a, long career in, managing other people's money, including myself. And literally sitting in Midtown Manhattan and visiting with 5 or so CEOs and CFOs on a daily basis to listen to their story about their company. A lot of these companies were larger than the ones that we're working with today. Most were public, and some were late stage private businesses, but had a tremendous amount of experience in that area. And as Connor mentioned, I've been on the boards of numerous companies, both public and private. Exited a tremendous amount of those to private equity firms, and I'm currently running Paid and ShipTime, which is a public company in the U.S., and really enjoying working with small entrepreneurial businesses, both in Canada and in the US.
And, it's fun because, although you're not technically on Shark Tank, you are a shark. I mean, you've done the same things in Kevin and looked at tons of companies and invested, and it just hasn't been on television. So you've had all that experience and a lot of those successes. And it's very exciting for you to be here to share your wisdom. I guarantee that someone here today, you're going to change their life. Just the fact in your humble beginnings and what you've accomplished is very impressive. And I know that someone's going to get a lot from it.
Thank you, Connor.
Yes,
I hope
sir.
that's the case.
Yes, sir. So now with that said as well, without further ado, I obviously cannot do not do a proper introduction for the man, the myth, the legend himself, who is here with us today. And I'm going to introduce him. I don't think I verbally could do it enough justice, so I'll introduce him to you guys with a quick video.
Meet Kevin Harrington.
With over 500 products launched and generating over $5 billion in product sales in over 100 countries, Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, as seen on TV pioneer and original shark on
Meet Kevin Harrington.
with over 5 launched and $1 billion in product sales in over 100 countries. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, as seen on TV pioneer and original shark on the TV show Shark Tank. Kevin creates massive brands by combining great products with superstar talent like Kim Kardashian, 50 Cent, Kathy and Paris Hilton, CeeLo Green, George Foreman, Montel Williams, Jack LaLanne, Flo Rida, Hulk Hogan, Billy Mays, and Tony Little.
My brand now is worth over $3 billion. If you even have an idea, you'd want to go to Kevin Harrington.
Kevin has been featured on 2020, CNN, Fox Business, Bloomberg, Jim Cramer's The Street, MTV, Good Morning America, the CBS Morning News, The Today Show, The View, and The Daily Double on Jeopardy.
Now the last clue, back to the Shark Tank. I'm Kevin Harrington.
An entrepreneur for over 40 years, Kevin has built 20 businesses to over $100 million each. That's why he's the original shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Let's give Kevin a warm welcome.
Can you hear me okay? Hey,
When
awesome
they
to be
the
here.
tech, everything.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Connor. Thanks, Austin. Excited about our discussion today. And sorry for the tech issues we've had, but we're ready to rumble, and that's what we do. So let's take it away, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so excited to see you, man. Thank you for being here. This is it's going to be a lot of fun, and I've had the honor of getting to know you and pleasure, but I've heard your story, seen you on stages. We've gone to conferences, we've done shark retreats all over the country. But share a little bit behind the scenes from young Kevin to building your brands and now, I mean, tens of billions of dollars of value created in companies. Just take us back through, because we're startup to 9 figures. So give us a 60 seconds on that journey.
Yeah. The 60-second journey. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 15 years old. That's more than 50 years ago. Okay. So I've been an entrepreneur for 50 years, but the big change, the pivot for me and opportunity, because there's opportunities for everybody listening right now. And you need to know when is it your time. And often it means you must act now, because if you wait with a great idea, you may lose it. Someone else may create it. But I was back in 1980, as I was watching cable TV, it had just come out. I'm on Discovery Channel and it went dark for 6 hours. Called the cable company. Is there a technical problem? They said, no, it's only an 18-hour-a-day channel. So eureka moment. I cut a deal to start putting products into that time. And this is back in the early 80s. We were the pioneers of of the infomercial business. I say they call me the inventor of the infomercial because nobody else was doing it at that time. And so we did Tony Little Fitness, and the video showed you all the George Foreman and Jack LaLanne, and some of these are older guys that you may not recognize, but if you got a couple years on you, you know some of these people, but these were billions and billions of dollars in sales. So, but we didn't stop there. We went international. We went to England. We went to Saudi Arabia, 20 countries of distribution all across the Arabic nations, Latin America, Asia. So bottom line, Connor, all of this I owned As Seen on TV Inc., AsSeenOnTV.com. We had thousands of products airing in over 100 countries, 25 languages, 25 different currencies. And that was my business. And then I said, you know what? I've done well. I've had a good run. I've had a couple exits. We took a couple companies public. One company went public on the New York Stock Exchange, went from $1 to $20. And then I said, you know what? I need to help entrepreneurs. I need to help other people with products. Along came a guy with a product 12 years ago, a little product at the time, really, it was a complete startup, Celsius. Celsius was a 10-cent pink sheet stock, couple $1 million in value. Fast forward, we built it to over $16 billion in value. The stock went from 10 cents to $300. So, I mean, it was the number one stock in the stock market a couple of years back. So I'm very excited to be part of companies like this, but I also am very excited to be part of companies like this. This is a product called Peeps, and it's an eyeglass cleaner, and it cleans both sides of your glasses simultaneously. Gentleman brought us this, had sold $1 million worth, but had peaked and was dead and with the business. And so, make a long story short, we've increased the average order value. We decreased the customer acquisition cost, and this is done now $170 million in sales. So, I mean, I could keep talking, Connor. I'm here because I want to help people with businesses. I want to help people with products. We're not just a product company. We help service businesses, whether you're we invested in a roofing company out of Columbus, Ohio. We now have 600 dealers all across the country. So I could talk about successes, but I don't want to bore everybody with that. But I just want to say this, we're going to be in Toronto soon, and it's going to be so exciting there because we're going to be meeting, taking pitches, networking, and helping people get their business and their product off the ground in a big, big way.
I don't think you or Austin could bore anybody with stories. We could just have you guys talk for the next hour and everyone would get massive value out of it. But I want to focus in on some specific things, and I'll go to you, first, Kevin, and then I'll go to Austin on this, because in any business, and Austin's been very heavy on a lot of B2B, a lot of the, brands behind the brands and medical and things of that nature. And Kevin, you've done a lot of products, but both of you have done a mixture of both. So with all that to say, you've seen it all, almost like you've seen a lot. Actually, Austin, I'll start with you on this. Talk about visionary positioning, and then I'll go to you, Kevin, on this. Any company, any entrepreneur, they may have a competitive product and maybe new and innovative, but at the end of the day, you could have the cure for cancer, but without really developing your visionary positioning, you don't have a business you can grow. So Austin, what is your philosophy on visionary positioning at any stage in a business?
Yeah, thanks, Connor. I think for the most part, a lot of entrepreneurs are, full of ideas and love to talk about those and share them and get kind of feedback from others and really looking for that sense of agreement or light bulb moment. A lot of people get distracted with everything they're trying to accomplish instead of just taking it one step at a time and being very focused on, how can I execute, this one particular thing. And then eventually, after having success with that, then you're able to scale out into other areas that are complementary to the business to scale it and grow the business. So from that perspective, I think, being very focused on what you're trying to accomplish from a goal-oriented perspective is very key, because you need to be able to share with investors where you've been able to be successful and why you would be able to continue down that path. That's very important for just proving that you're worthy of investment and that you have the ability to execute against your idea instead of just have an idea in general. And so there's so many ideas out there, everybody's got them. But to Kevin's point, acting now and being very focused in that approach is really the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. And it's almost to a point of obsession that you need to be focused on what your goals are and how you're going to accomplish them.
And great point on that focus. Kevin, thoughts, your philosophy around visionary positioning and uniqueness, like really differentiating your product, your service to any others out there in the marketplace.
So yeah, very important, Connor. I think one of the things that we try to do if someone has a product or a service is, what is that unique positioning, right? And so a lot of times there's some kind of a magical transformation. That's one thing that has worked very well, certainly with products. I mean, let's talk about a fitness guy like Tony Little. When I first met with Tony, I said, Tony, why will someone buy this? He said, he opened up his drawer. I was in his office. He had 30 testimonials and pictures of people before and after. And it's like, they used my product. They lost weight. They feel better. They're going to go on video and tell people how excited they are. So you need unique positioning. And I have sort of a checklist of things. And one of the things we're going to teach in Toronto, I've got, in doing a pitch, because we're going to be taking pitches. There's 10 steps to a perfect pitch. And one of the things is that unique positioning. Okay. Another is creating these magical transformations. And in unique positioning, does your service or product solve a problem that is not currently being solved by another service or product in the marketplace? That's a unique positioning. Your product does something that nobody else's does, right? So let's make that happen. But today you've got influencers that you can bring to the table with you. I mean, when we did Celsius, we brought Flo Rida, and along with that came Khloe Kardashian, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to say something very important, and there's a reason why people are coming to Toronto, and I want to make sure that we have room for as many as possible, because I know there's a ton of people on this call right now, and I know it's going to be crazy when we're done. But the bottom line is when you first start, if it's your first business, I'm going to recommend that you look for some help, you look for some guidance, because when I first started, I was so headstrong as an entrepreneur. I can do it. I don't need anybody. And boy, did I have big time failures in finance areas, operational areas, customer service. We were getting massive returns when we could have, with a good team, we could have alleviated a lot of that. But what I say is you need to create a dream team. And dream teams mean you get like you put a board of advisors together, right? I mean, what could be so bad to have somebody like Austin or me, a shark, on your board of advisors? We do this for the right people and the right deals if you are that right person and you have the right product or service. So, there's opportunities that can be endless. I've had people put me on their team as a board of advisor. They went out and raised $1 million right after that because they had a shark on their team. So there are some opportunities that we're going to be presenting in Toronto that will really give entrepreneurs a mind-blowing chance to start their business and grow it and scale it in an awesome fashion.
And I've known you, even Kevin at the level he's at, and I know Austin can say the same. You still seek others who have done even more, and you've sought their wisdom, and you get counsel even to this day from other successful people. So it never really stops. Like people think you get that, to a certain point and you stop learning, you stop getting mentors, you stop, and you get an ego, right? You've done a couple million in sales. All of a sudden, you know it all. You don't need anyone else to help you out.
Yeah, I mean, look, a few years back, I hit a point in my life where I needed some direction and I wanted to pivot. I'd sold AsSeenOnTV.com, As Seen on TV Inc. I had a public company, sold it to a public company. And now I'm like, what am I going to do? Well, you know what I did? I reached out to some of my key connections, and Tony Robbins and another gentleman that started ClickFunnels. I forgot his name real quick, but someone knows it. Russell Brunson. And Russell, Kevin, you were the TV guy. You could do the same thing in digital on Facebook and Instagram and all this. So I ended up going down, and he said, you got to go talk to Richard Branson. Hey, that wouldn't be so bad. And I did. I went down to Necker Island, spent 3 days down there, one-on-one sessions with Richard Branson. And I'm going to say that it was a game changer, a life changer for me. And what happened at that event gave me the direction to actually get selected to be a shark on Shark Tank. So it's a powerful scenario when you figure out what your next steps are. And that's what we're going to be doing in Toronto, by the way, is helping people with their next steps, because everybody wants to know, what do I do? How do I raise money? How do I get a dream team? How do I get that powerful board of advisors?
By the way, if you guys haven't noticed, we got something going on in Toronto, so stick around till the end and we'll share some more insights and behind the scenes on that. And I want to see in chat, are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying this so far? Are you learning something? Let me see, some yeses, some excitement in the chat. While we're doing that, Austin, you've seen a lot from companies under $1 million to tens of millions, and even at the hundreds, doing hundreds and hundreds of millions a year. Capital allocation, finances, resources. What do you see are the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make when it comes to, capital optimization, revenue optimization in their businesses?
Yeah, thanks, Connor. I think this particular topic is critical, especially when you're kind of just forming the business, and you're trying to do as many things as you can by yourself, to Kevin's point. And I think, as a founder myself, historically kind of wanted to make sure that I maintained as much ownership of that business as possible. But at the same time, I also learned that the only way to kind of grow and scale is to, partner with folks that have different skill sets than you do. And so what I really like about BBV and the team is that, when you partner with BBV, you get a full team of very knowledgeable and experienced people that can bring so much value in the areas that may not be, your area of expertise. And so the kind of team rallies around that relationship, understands where you excel, maybe where you need some help, and we can kind of work together in partnership to do that. And so, a long time ago, when I was very young, my dad looked at me and he just said, "Son, education is expensive." And that just kind of always stuck with me throughout the rest of my life. And I went on to make, as Kevin mentioned, a series of very expensive mistakes in this journey of, meeting people, investing in people and products and IP, et cetera. And you really kind of, as Kevin also mentioned, you learn most from the things that you screwed up. And those things kind of, are buried down deep inside of you to, hey, if I ever see this again, right, I'm not going to repeat what happened previously. And to the other point, you're always learning, right? You're learning if something's going the way that you hoped it would or better, and you're learning even more, like I mentioned, if things aren't. But there's a constant ability to absorb all of this information and kind of optimize how you want to approach things. And I think partnering with the key people that are going to get you there, that are going to give you an advantage from, people they know, experiences they've had, and other valuable wisdom that they can, and there's a ton of wisdom in telling someone, hey, you don't want to do that, right? We always talk about, hey, what can we do for you and how can we do that? But there's a tremendous amount of incremental value and some risk management stuff as well that said, hey, I've been involved in a situation like this, and 9 times out of 10, that doesn't really work. And that advice as well can be extremely valuable to, steering you down the right path as you go about, forming the right relationships. And that's not just a function of getting along with somebody, that's having an economic alignment about who's going to do what. And I think we've all been in relationships where, somebody claims they're going to do something and then they don't do it. Everybody's disappointed, and relationships get broken from that perspective. But, having the right alignment of, who's going to do what, how they're going to do it, what their deliverables are, managing expectations and that sort of thing, good communication usually, results in a successful outcome from that perspective, as you can kind of learn from the relationship and apply that, as things move forward. And, the one thing that's interesting about business, right, is you start down one path, and the path you start down may not be the path you end up on. And this happens over and over and over again when, Sony started as a soup company, and various different medical products start off trying to treat, one particular thing. And the next thing they know, they realize it's really valuable in a whole nother area that they had no idea about, right? So, you're constantly learning from everyone that's around you, whether they're your partners, whether they're your customers or advisors. And the way that you're able to take all that information and put it together in a way that, you can really learn and grow from is key to being a successful entrepreneur.
As I've spent more and more time with both of you and in other very successful people, is the common theme. It's almost always not a what, but a who. It's almost always a who. On the finance side to be successful, on the marketing side, on the branding side, because success just isn't created in a vacuum. You need the right people around you to help to build that vision. You can't do it alone. You may be able to pull it off to get to your first, million in sales or something like that. But to really go beyond that, again, we're here talking about the 9-figure level. It really comes down to the right people. Kevin, you seen businesses like, again, you mentioned Peeps. It's such a great example because, we got involved with them when they were just around $1 million in sales. They were struggling. They weren't scaling. But you knew there was something here, right? And then now doing $200 million in total sales, still doing tens of millions a year. What is the difference between a company, doing $1 million in sales versus doing hundreds of millions in sales when it comes to customer acquisition specifically? Because that's
Right.
really important.
So, the one thing I say when people say, what is your strength as a marketing company? Our strength is customer acquisition. In the as seen on TV business, we would, Tony Little's ab isolator, we would acquire customers for $15 and sell them a $40 package. And we made money in the delta. So, but there's one thing that most people don't really understand. It's conversion maximization, and that is, like when we first started with Peeps, the customer acquisition was close to $20, about $18, but the product was only selling for $14.95. So how do you make money that cost you $20 to get $15? Well, you've got to increase the average order value, because if somebody's wearing glasses, they need one for their car, one for the bed, one for the night table, one for the kitchen. Buy 2, get 2 free. Boom. All of a sudden, the average order value went from $18 up to $55. We were able to pay that customer acquisition cost, and now we were selling 10,000 orders a day. I'm talking 300,000 orders in a month. This is unbelievable to go from zero to 300,000 orders in a month is remarkable. And this is what we like to bring to the table. And it's that maximization. It took 15 different tweaks to get that Peeps to perform like that. It wasn't, oh, let's just do this. No, it was change the creative, change the payment structure, change the number of items that we offer, et cetera, et cetera. So, we are experts in customer acquisition, but we also are experts in maximizing the average order value as well as minimizing the customer acquisition cost.
I think that's so important, Austin. I'll turn to you on that thought as well. But knowing your numbers is critical, because in some cases, like you're selling a medical device product, right, Austin? And it could, if you know it cost you $10,000 to acquire a customer, but your average, order is hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can invest that confidently once you know what those numbers look like and where you get that from. Same with down to a product, or same with a service. If you don't know your numbers and solve for your numbers at any level you're at right now, you don't really know what levers to pull to accelerate growth. Austin, thoughts?
Yeah, thanks, Connor. And I think you're hitting on something extremely important. And anybody who founds a business and is actively working in it, I mean, no one's going to know that business better than you. And you see on if you've ever watched Shark Tank, right? People that don't know their numbers, they fumble out of the gate, they immediately lose the attention of the panel, and everybody bails. So going back to what Kevin had discussed earlier about understanding the pitch and the positioning, obviously that's key to get someone's attention, but backing that up with concise and clear understanding of the economic fundamentals of your business is just as important to get somebody to say, oh well, hey, that I like what you're doing, that's a really good idea. And most people will give you that feedback, and very few people will actually spend a lot more time with you, sit down, walk through your business model, and invest in your business. That's a whole another level of commitment. But anybody who can very quickly and articulately explain what they're doing and its economic impact will, immediately grab the attention of any sophisticated investor much more quickly than someone that really is struggling with those concepts.
Powerful stuff. Powerful stuff. So, if you can solve for that, people think it's, hey, solve for more, but the way to get more is at a base level, know your numbers, and then know what levers that you can pull. Kevin, Austin, last question for both of you, and then I want to go into sharing an opportunity for everybody on the call here today. Kevin, I'll start with you. What are we've talked positioning, we've talked customer acquisition, we've talked lightly on the capital side, but ultimately the biggest mistakes that you see entrepreneurs make who have a goal to build $100 million beyond business?
Well, I think there's a lot of big mistakes, but I'll say that if you are an entrepreneur, have you branded yourself to stand out? I mean, that's at the end of the day. That's what I did after meeting Richard Branson. I started writing books, creating video content, putting the messages out to followers. And as I branded myself, hey, I got invited to be on Shark Tank. You get to speak on stages. You speak on stages, you can get tens of thousands of dollars in revenues. And so, but building the brand of your person as an entrepreneur, but also building the brand of your product, right? And so I think a lot of people make this mistake. And here I thought I was a very successful entrepreneur at one point, but Richard Branson said, Kevin, like, you've done great, but what are you going to do now? Nobody knows who you are. You've built all these other people's brands. So I'm very focused on telling entrepreneurs, how they can go out. And by the way, it's a very simple step-by-step program. We show them how to get on television. We show them how to get in newspapers, how to get PR, magazines, articles written. We show them how to get books written, become a co-author of a best-selling book even. So the bottom line is that there's many opportunities for people to do this. And the last part of it, think about this. When you brand yourself, think about getting some of these, like, let's say I'm on your board of advisors. When you brand yourself, you're also piggybacking my brand. So whose brands can you piggyback to be on your board of advisors? It's not just you building the business. I mean, I've had a 21-year-old kid just out of college comes to me and says, I'm having trouble getting deals because people don't think I can do all of this. And I'm like, you need a couple of advisors because you're going to leverage their credibility to your credibility because they vetted you and they're part of your team and part of the deliverables of what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah. And I'd like to jump in here too on that point, Kevin. I think that's extremely valuable. I've had the pleasure of hearing you speak several times, and it's always powerful. But outside of the great speaking work that you do on the book topic, you wrote a book called Mentor to Millions. And I'm not a aggressive reader, but I was able to crush that book on a flight to the West Coast in its entirety. And it's just an amazing story, an amazing book, and I recommend everybody get a copy of that because you'll have an understanding of who Kevin is, what he loves to do on a daily basis, and how he turned that passion into an immensely successful career. And it's not just all about the money either, right? It's yes, that's part of it, and that's part of gauging how successful you are because in order to be successful, you do have to measure that in some shape or form. But it's also all the people that you meet along the way and all the relationships that you make. And those relationships you can take with you when you go. But unfortunately, the cash you got to leave behind. So with that, I just wanted to, plug Kevin's book because I just got so much out of it. It was an amazing story. And Kevin truly is a mentor to millions of people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice.
Both of you, thank you so much. And it's crazy to me how it seems so simple, like very simple philosophies and concepts, but when applied, they become complicated because a lot of people overcomplicate it. So I hope, and I'm going to share something with all of you here. It's crazy. I'm getting texts from people. I'm seeing all the chats, like, what's going on? What's the opportunity? I know you mentioned something, and I'm just getting blown up left and right. So I have a question for everybody here. And I'm going to actually share my screen again with everybody. So in the chat, I want you to help answer this question. I'm not going to move on until I see all of you. Do you, knowing what you know, seeing what we do you folks on this call today want a seat at our table? Because we certainly want you to be at our table. Put it in the chat. Yes, no, absolutely not, absolutely. I'm seeing yes, 100%, 100%, yes, for sure, absolutely, 100%. We want that for you too, because we at this stage, we love helping entrepreneurs. We genuinely love helping entrepreneurs. We know how tough it is. We know how difficult it is. We know how brutal it is. And the best thing is to get around the right people. So here's what I have for you all. We mentioned Toronto coming up here in the end of this month, September 24th and 25th. I would like to extend an invitation to you on this call, the action takers, to spend 2 days with us in person. You have Kevin Harrington there. You have Austin there. You have our entire team. You have me. We're bringing in some of our network of investors and partners and entrepreneurs. Now, why do we do this, right? We call these our shark retreats. We've done roughly about 30 of these over the years, over the last couple years. And the reason we do this is to help you and really spend some time together, in with your business on scaling strategies, capital, raising capital, customer acquisition, what we've done, what Kevin's done, what Austin's done, what our team has done collectively to do billions of dollars in sales. You get the chance to get that out of our heads, out of our notes, and be able to take it and implement it into your own business, as well as feedback, mentorship. And then, as you guys know, it's not about what you know or who you know, but who knows you. So you show up to something like this and you get the chance for us to know you, right? And in doing that, we can build a relationship and see, hey, what connections do we have to help you and support you, and so on. So September 24th, 25th, we are going to be in Toronto. There's a very strategic reason why we're announcing this publicly to everyone right now, because we had some of our folks we've shared with. Now we want to offer the opportunity for every single one of you here. It's going to be very powerful. It's going to be experiential. We've also got boxing. Austin, what did you tell me about I haven't followed the Blue Jays, but what's going on with the Blue Jays as of late and the Red Sox?
No, I mean, this year they're, in contention to win the American League East amongst the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Blue Jays will be playing the Red Sox, on the 24th. So it'll be a heavily attended and watched game, and actually has some significant meaning. So for anybody that's a fan, that's a great opportunity to come out, not only attend the retreat with everybody and gain kind of, extremely valuable business concepts that you can apply within your business immediately, but also be able to kind of network with the rest of the BBV, Paid, and ShipTime teams and enjoy the game. So it's an amazing opportunity, and we've really included a lot of excellent options here for everybody to kind of get involved and enjoy the company.
You may not like baseball, but imagine yourself spending that intimate time, and it is intimate. That is an exclusive option we're providing for this. But imagine spending that time uninterrupted, us hanging out, having some cocktails, eating some snacks, and talking business and watching the game. So it'll be a good time. Now, the question is, I know all of you, and I'm getting texts from people. I'm seeing the messages. What is the investment to attend something like this? We've done 30 of these, all over the country. We've, kept them pretty exclusive and, very, very small and intimate. And we know the impact that people get out of their business to, in coming to spend time with us and leveraging that. I mean, we have a really fun story. We had someone who actually came to one of our shark retreats. They leveraged the fact that they were going to be in the same room as Kevin Harrington for the day with some investors they're working on. And they went and closed a $500,000 raise just for the fact they were coming to spend time with us. We've had other companies leave out of this and go on to do, add millions of dollars in sales. Some of them come in the room. We end up partnering together. So it's very, very powerful. So you can imagine that this is not like the cheapest option to come get in the room, but it is the best way to get in the room with us. And so the cost of doing this is, $2,997 for what we've done this, before, but that was before. So before it was $2,997. Now, for all of you that are here today, you know that I have something special, as I promised. So, general admissions, and you take action today, and it's not a, successful people. Austin, you can speak to this. Kevin, you can speak to this. Successful people, I've got to figure out this and this. Successful people commit, and then they figure it out. So, your travel plans, whatever, find a way to show up. It will be worth it. And so if you do that, I will do this for you. General admission for you to attend today. By the way, this does not include the box seats at the game. I just want to make that clear. We can offer that to you. Is not $2,997, is not $3,000, is not $2,000, and it is not even $1,000. You can attend our Shark Retreat in Toronto and become a general admission attendee for $297. $300. People are asking, this is USD, by the way. So what does that factor to, Austin? Like 350 or something like that?
Yeah, in that range. Yep.
Okay. $297 to spend 2 days with some of the most powerful business titans that you'll ever get the chance to meet. So that is our offer today for general admissions is $300. You get to spend the 2 days, learn, network, build relationships. Just realize that this does not include the VIP, box seats. It does not include, private dinners, but you can get in the room for $300 USD. Okay. So here's the two options for you.
And Connor, we have never done this at this price. I mean,
we've never, ever done this.
Thousands of people have paid the $3,000. And this we're opening this up because we said, at $3,000, we get a limited group of people. At $297, we can touch more of the masses. And that's what we wanted to do, because there's a lot of people out there that maybe wouldn't have paid the $3,000, but for $300, come on, let's go.
But guess what,
Kevin? Also it includes lunch as well. So
it does include lunch. But guess what, Kevin?
At the same time.
It doesn't even, this isn't even the masses, right? We have still capped this at only 75 spots. We've been promoting this to our inner network. We're 3 weeks away from this event. So you can imagine that there are very, very limited slots for this $300 general admission ticket. So two options for you. One, you can go and schedule a call with our team. If you want a lot more of a VIP experience for the 2 days, you want closer proximity to us, you want to spend some more time together, schedule a call with our team. You can use that QR code on the left. And I will also share a link with you as well to do that. Or go take action right now, purchase the general admission ticket, scan that QR code on the right. You just pull up the camera app on your phone and scan the code. And then you can go and actually purchase a GA ticket. Okay. But if you're going to do VIP, we got to do a little bit more of a interview to make sure that it's, the right fit.
Yeah, and this is a per person price, as I'm seeing in the chat. Somebody had inquired. The $297 is per person. So if you have multiple people that want to go, then that's excellent. But it is on a per person basis.
Per person. I see some people, folks, give me 1 quick second. I will pull up the actual link here for you as well. So this is the link. I'm putting it into the chat, just making it clear. It's going into the chat right now. Okay, this is the link to go and purchase your general admission ticket for only $300 today. And then this is the link. If you want to schedule a time to talk with our team, you have more questions, you maybe want to do a more VIP experience while we're together 2 days in Toronto, then that is in the chat as well. Austin, you guys can see the screen QR codes okay, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. I'm not seeing anyone's having issues. By the way, I'm seeing people signing up already, which is amazing. Thank you for taking action. That is a difference maker. You take action, you figure out the rest along the way. So do it. Purchase GA upgrade in the next few days. Yeah, you can do that, Jacob. Go ahead, no problem. Go ahead and purchase a GA. If you purchase a GA now at that, we can also upgrade you later once you understand more. So you can take action, at least reserve a seat with GA. We can have a meeting and then do VIP. This is also very special because we're doing this on Austin's turf in Toronto. And we haven't done any in Toronto yet in Canada. this would be the first time. So this would be a heck of a lot of fun, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
They have Cuban cigars in Canada.
As long as they have Cuban cigars in Canada, you know Kevin's gonna be there.
Good. That's one place that I always enjoy connecting with the laws here. We can't get those Cuban cigars, so it's gonna be great. I mean, lunches and dinners, baseball. If you can stick around and hang with us for the powerful stuff. You know, I'll say this. You know, I've been doing this. Been an entrepreneur for more than 50 years. Been in the as seen on TV business since 1980. That's 45 years. And you know, I'm not done. I have a 37-year-old son, as you well know, Connor, Brian Harrington. He's been with me for 18 years now. And out of college. And so 17 years out of college. And then I have a brother, Tim Harrington. Tim he's almost 60. Okay. And he's my younger brother, but he was with me 35 years and just rejoined the company. And he brought his daughter, Amanda, we're all going to be in Toronto. Myself, my son, my brother, his daughter. We have a family business that is really helping people make it happen. And if you have a business or you have a product, and I'm seeing some texts and some chats coming through here, I'm hearing from people that are very excited about their business and their products and their services. And I'm just going to tell you, yes, come to the event for $300. Be there, right? It's, you know, it's going to be an awesome time. And, you know, I'll be there for 2 full days. So it's not very often I do anything for 2 full days, but this is because we're going to have so many people at this event. It's going to be awesome.
And Kevin, I'm honored that you consider me your adopted son in the family. I appreciate it, but it really is. I mean, we got, like, when we say dream team, we literally mean dream team, because I mean, your brother Tim, Amanda on the marketing side, like them separately on their own, what they've done in businesses and building massive companies and massive brands. And you know, we'll have some surprises there as well. So Austin, other thoughts? And if you have questions, put them in. By the way, I put the link for checkout into the chat. So if you look in the chat, you can see and you can check out for the general admissions ticket. If you need me to share and you prefer the QR code, just let me know in the chat. And Austin, what are your thoughts?
So a few things I'm seeing on the chat is obviously this event in September is in Toronto. The BBB team has done, you know, over 30 events in the US and they've been all across the US and will continue to do those events. We'd love for everybody to, you know, try to get to Toronto. If you can't, there will be some opportunities further down the road to meet in other cities around the United States, if that's, you know, preferable for you. In addition to that, Connor, I think, you know, we should also highlight, you know, the other tiers of what we're offering. I see a lot of questions about, you know, the VIP and some of the other tier 2 type packages. I think there's tremendous value in every step of the way. The $297 is basically giving it away after you pay for lunch these days. You know, inflation is tough, and that's one more reason why we've all got to, you know, do what we can to be successful and afford, you know, to live the lifestyles that we want to have for ourselves. But in addition to that, I think there's just, you know, every step of the way, there's tremendous value. We're trying to really make this, you know, as affordable as possible for everyone, so that you can get involved. And again, that just goes back to our, you know, passion for entrepreneurs and sharing ideas and experiences, right, that can really, in certain instances, you know, make or break, you know, opportunities.
But it is capped, right? We made it affordable, but we're capping it at 75 at general admission. We could, like, Kevin has filled stadiums of people, thousands and thousands of people coming to see Kevin speak. We're opening this up to 70. So, you know, it's limited. So take action. Don't wait. We'll sell them out If you have questions, use that link I just put in. You can schedule a call. But this is actually the last shark retreat we're doing of this year. The very last shark retreat we're doing this year. You don't want to miss this, especially since we've opened this up. Toronto, guys, is in Canada. So if you're coming from the US, yes, I believe you need a passport for that.
Do you need a passport? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing too. I'll keep the room open for a couple minutes. Kevin, you're welcome to stay. Hop if you need. You've been amazing and wonderful, and I'm sure these folks are very excited to come hang out with you in person. But here's what we'll do. We got a little behind because of technical difficulties. I am going to do a complete follow-up. I will personally dedicate an hour and a half for everybody here to do just Q&A. Like, it doesn't have to be about the event. You have business challenges, you have questions, you have things that are happening in your business. I will do that. Austin, you're welcome to join if you want to come do some live Q&A and some live coaching. Kevin, you're of course welcome to join. But regardless, just for you guys being here, we'll do another follow-up session that is strictly Q&A. We'll answer some questions, and I'll stick around for a bit longer and answer some questions. But I want to gift that to you guys for being here, and as an apology for a little delay in getting things kicked off.
Connor, great job today. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward to spending a couple of days up there. And Austin's been a great partner and investor in our business. And I'll say this: Austin was part of filling in the dream team here because I'm a marketing guy. Austin's the money guy, right? And not that he invests in every deal or that he'll invest in any deals that come to our event. But yes, we're interested. We're looking, and if things make sense, metrics are there, we're going to jump in. So, but we also have networks of people that, like, hey, if you ever see a hot deal, it's like they want to invest alongside the shark kind of thing, right? So we have networks of people that if we like something and we're coming in even with a small investment, they'll come in. So this event is going to be for service businesses, product owners, people that are starting, people that are expanding, people that need more customer acquisition, and people that need to raise capital. We're going to show you how to do all of that. And we got some great experts there. Thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye, but I know you'll do well with the next with Q&A whenever you do it. And Austin, I'll see you in Toronto.
Sounds good, Kevin. Thanks so much.
Talk to you in the meantime. Okay.
Good man.
Absolutely.
Much love, Kevin. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate you, brother. Austin, we're and we can open up for some questions also. I mean, you have business specific questions, anything, I'm happy to stick around. Austin, you're welcome to stay as long as you like. But if you want to put into the chat or the Q&A any questions, where you're struggling, what do you guys need help with? Love to hear from you. And then I'll keep this open a little bit and scan if we still have some last minute who want to scan and get their ticket. I'm seeing a lot of you taking action on this, so tickets are going fast. And of course, if you want to talk about VIP, experiences, then you can scan and schedule a call with our team. Let's see here. Questions in the chat. Whoa, where did
Yeah, Connor, I'm fine for you to highlight some questions, if I can be of help, or, if they're event related, I'm sure you can handle those.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to put questions into the chat, George says, trying to raise seed round, any ideas for getting the first investor?
Yeah, so George, great question. That's always a challenging concept. Usually, and there's different ways of going about that. There's different organizations in the U.S., such as Y Combinator, et cetera, that kind of focus on this. There's angel groups and networks in most large cities across kind of North America, and it's really about kind of finding, that kind of one lead investor that can put some, terms around a relationship and kind of act as a lead investor. And once you kind of have the opportunity and what you're getting versus what you're paying for, it's much easier to kind of fill out exactly the rest of the round, right? So essentially, finding that kind of lead investor is kind of key, getting the terms set, and then things generally either come together or don't come together after that kind of pivotal point. But having a business that certainly can prove that you have revenues, and you have, as Kevin mentioned, some problems that you're solving in a unique and interesting way, and you're providing value to those customers that can be validated by investors, is obviously very important to them to kind of see, hey, you've got something here, this is working, and you need a little bit more fuel on the fire to kind of grow and scale the business.
Solid. Let me scroll back up here to the top questions. Someone had a question. We're trying to expand into Japan. Is that something you have experience doing? Also, I know about you, but I know personally with Kevin. But any thoughts on that?
I've been involved with businesses that operate in Japan, but essentially it really comes down to, as Connor was alluding to, leveraging relationships and networks, and in international business, it's usually key that you have some relationship with a domestic partner that can help you kind of navigate those types of landscapes. And so from that perspective, whether it's a medical product and you have to go through some sort of, FDA application with that particular country, or, some other type of government, relationship, or, maybe it's not having anything to do with that, but you really need, to have some partner in those parts of the world that you're trying to, penetrate. And that's really been kind of key from what I've witnessed. There's also, leveraging, relationships to find those right partners in those countries that you're, wanting to be involved with as well. And some of them are, some of the manufacturing partners, et cetera, can also help with distribution. So there's various different types of partners, and that's along the lines of what BBV tries to find for companies we work with. And so Kevin had referred to a handful of celebrities that he's used previously to kind of brand and bring recognition to products and services, and also there's other networks that are available in other countries to kind of tap into and do similar type things.
By the way, Michael, congrats. I just see your comment here that you bought a ticket. Very excited to meet you. I see other things like, hey, well, there'll be opportunities for me to meet you guys, to talk, to, pitch my business. I'll tell you this, if you don't do anything, nothing happens, right? When you show up, when you get in the room, when you get around other people, that's where the magic happens. I would not be here right now if I, as a lowly podcaster back in the day, entrepreneur, only done a few million in sales, maybe 15, 20 million in total sales at that time. I wanted to grow. I wanted more. So I invested to get in the room with Kevin. I built the relationship over a course of years. I brought value to the room. I didn't ask for anything. All I did was give. And that's where it started. Now, here I am at the age of 31 as a shareholder, a partner in our company. And that's where it all happened. So if you do nothing, nothing happens. Blanche asks, I would love to collaborate with Austin as a mentor for me. How can we make that happen? Blanche, you and many, many others, the best step and way to make that happen is you have to show up. You have to get in the room. There's a difference in getting in person and building and looking at each other's eyes and shaking hands and talking and laughing and having fun. So if you haven't already, come to Toronto. Come spend 2 days with us in Toronto.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a couple more interesting questions I'm seeing, and
Pick them as you want, man. Pick
yeah, I mean, so Rhonda had asked about whether this is for small or larger companies. It's really for small startup and small business type private companies that are, you know, looking to you know, grow and scale their businesses and partner with companies like BBV to kind of fill in the gaps, as we mentioned before, in areas that, you know, make it more affordable to the business owner without kind of getting to a point of having to raise so much money that you end up kind of getting a minority stake in the business that you found.
I don't mean to cut you off, Austin, but to clarify that, we're not in the business of taking an idea on a napkin and turning it into a business, right? So if you're just idea on napkin stage, you haven't built a business in the past, and maybe you have a new concept, or you're just completely starting from scratch, this probably is a lot more geared for you've already gotten started, you've gotten some sales under your belt, and you're looking at what it takes to scale, not exactly starting completely from scratch. So I want to clarify that when we say small business, we have people coming in who are doing tens of millions a year in revenue, and we have some people that are going to be there that have only done their first couple 100,000 in revenue, right? So I just want to make sure that's clear. Austin, didn't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off. Go ahead.
thanks for the clarity there, Connor. Tanisha also had an interesting question about should you build an advisor board? And absolutely, Tanisha. I mean, you know, you're kind of, when you're a founder entrepreneur, you're kind of, you know, 24/7, you know, trying to figure out what's your next move, and having some people to, you know, bounce ideas off of or a sounding board is always helpful. They may think of things or look at things differently than the way you are. And, you know, being able to have some healthy conversations about that and think through things can certainly be helpful. And generally you can find these types of people, you know, at events, at trade shows. Yes, some of them may be on LinkedIn. But as Connor mentioned, you know, trying to reach out to somebody you don't know and form a relationship with them is still challenging. So when you come to an event like this, you really get to connect with the person face to face and spend some real time. And that, you know, that can turn out to be kind of a priceless experience. So, you know, the internet is great. There's lots of information out there, and you can take advantage of that. But, you know, businesses are built with real people and real relationships, and, you know, that you know, trust and respect and professionalism needs to be earned personally, and it's not really something that is going to be, you know, is going to happen to the degree it should, you know, online.
Austin, here's a really interesting one. Currently starting a capital management firm. I have a level 3 business plan that's angel investor and venture capital ready. Currently trying to obtain a PPM to get SEC certified and get a Form D. Struggling, trying to bring in investors. Any advice on how to move forward?
Yes. So having done that previously, it's a challenging thing to do. And essentially, for the most part, the hardest part of that is not necessarily, you know, congregating all of the paperwork and doing all the filings, but it's really establishing a track record that you can show with real dollars, not kind of, you know, play money. That you have managed, you know, certain types of assets, whether they're, you know, private investments or public, over some period of time, and is vetted by a third party. So you've got real results that are unquestioned, and that's kind of the starting point to get to, you know, where I think you are today. So, you know, if you have that, that's certainly a giant step in the right direction. If you don't, it's very hard to, you can go through the motions with all the, registrations and fees and expenses, but it's going to be very challenging to raise, a real capital, from even angel investors, etc. Not to mention trying to get larger institutional type sponsorship.
Good one. Good one. Good one. All right, guys. Any other questions here? Like I said, we will do a live, really more of a ask us your toughest business questions. We'll pull some of you on stage next week. Austin, as I mentioned, you're welcome to join that as well. We can put the announcement out for that here. But while we're here now, any other questions? A lot of people are getting their ticket. We've capped that off at 75. So once we've, really put the call out, we will fill that very fast. 297. That's to get your foot in the door with a team that's done billions of dollars in sales in an intimate room for 2 days. So if anyone's wondering, how to do that, how to buy a ticket, how to schedule a call with our team, if you want more of a VIP sort of experience while we're there together, then happy to answer those questions. Any others you've spotted that I missed here, Austin?
There's quite a few, and if we couldn't get to all of them, as Connor mentioned, we've got a record of everything, and Connor will be following up with everyone. I'm happy to jump on the phone with Connor when needed to kind of walk through anything that's specifically directed in my direction, and looking forward to following up with those that have interest in joining us. At the Shark Retreat. It's a really valuable experience and something you can hold on to, for the rest of your life.
And I just totally realized we didn't even talk about this very much, but for those of you who are asking as well, what are the other ticket options? We have a more private, VIP option. Private meaning you're in a group of 15. You're actually going to be pitching your business in front of all the 100 people that are in the room for the day, including Kevin, including Austin, including the team, and getting real-time feedback, ideas, live in front of everybody. Plus we have VIP dinners, and then that also gets you access to box seats at the Blue Jays game with us. So that's capped at 15. We have an upper end level as well, where you literally will get interviewed by Kevin for television. So Kevin will interview you about your business, about your brand, create some great content. You can use that in your marketing, use that to raise capital. So there's 3 different options here, but if you just want to start today reserving a slot, getting into the room, then no problem, get the $297, $300 general admissions ticket, or you can schedule a call with our team, with myself, and we can help to advise you on what would be the best path.
Yeah, I'll just add one more thing. Thanks, Connor. The interview with Kevin is extremely valuable, and I think it's frankly underpriced. I really think that there's tremendous things that entrepreneurs can do with that. And Kevin has a very, very large network of folks that he's worked with for, up to 50 years. And having them see an interview with Kevin and having Kevin, endorse that relationship can open so many other doors as well and lead to lots of further discussion, as both Kevin and Connor alluded to. And so it's a special opportunity, and it's almost kind of priceless depending on how you look at it. The way we've set things up is we're just trying to cover our raw cost for handling these types of situations. But I think if you have an opportunity, or you're wondering about, hey, what could this mean for me? I'm sure Connor would love to have further discussion with you and help you pick the right option for you.
Eileen, I'm not sure what you mean by 2 options. There should be 3 options in there. Unless one of them is completely sold out, the link may have shut down. So I'm not sure. And you may want to check, you may have a browser, maybe try another browser. I mean, I just tested it again. The link seems to be working just fine. And I can see the three options in there, including the 2997 or 297 general admission. There's VIP, and then there's VIP Elite, which is the top end. And that includes the interview with Kevin Harrington. Saw two options, VIP and general admission. Okay. Are you trying to do the elite option? If so, then you can schedule a call with us and we can help you with that. So I'll just put them in here one last time, give it another, maybe 30 seconds or so, 60 seconds with the room open, and then we will wrap up and be on our way for the day. Top link, I just put them into the chat. You can use that link to schedule with our team. Bottom, you can use that link to schedule for Toronto. I'm sorry, to get your ticket for Toronto. And then what I'll do is we'll put the call out once we figure out the time. And we will do a follow-up session next week, live Q&A, live coaching, completely free. Come in, ask us your toughest business questions, and we can do that as a really cool follow-up and engage and get everyone hyped for all the time we'll spend together in Toronto. Let's see here. I know this is, what's the brand training September 25th? So Michael, the brand training, our CEO, Brandon T. Adams, who's a 3-time Emmy award-winning producer. He's done, business with Kevin over the last 10 years and, has helped scale a number of companies. He has a workshop that we're doing on that 25th, which will help you to break apart all of your branding, your mistakes, your opportunities, and actually map it out into your business in real time. So it's very, very powerful. So Brandon will be doing that on the 25th. BBV, what does BBV exactly mean? BBV is Big Brand Ventures.
Yeah, and Connor, Damon asked if he signed up for the premium VIP, can you bring a prop? And yes, that's allowed.
As long as it's
VIP
not a marionette puppet, because that would be creepy, a little creepy. So
most folks that sign up for the premium VIP do bring samples of the products that they have built or are working on, etc. And that obviously helps everybody to get a better understanding of the physical appearance of the product, maybe how it works, play around with it. There's a lot of, as Connor mentioned, interactive feedback, and that's the amazing part of the VIP experience, where you're able to get more involved in specific questions about your business and how we can help you, versus the general admission is mostly just watching this take place, but not necessarily being involved in the ability to pitch ideas and or get feedback from the panelists.
And guys, unfortunately, Kevin, Austin, they're incredibly busy. I mean, they're running businesses, they're growing their own brand. And so unfortunately, you're just not going to get them in a situation like you reach out to Austin, hey, Austin, I want to pick your brain. How many of those do you get every single week, every month? People that just want to leverage your time, right? So if you really want to get in front of us, get in person, that's why we do these, because it's just too many people trying to get our time. So we put everyone into a room together where we can invest and spend the time and get to know each other. Then once the value's there, we talk about how do we do dinners together and build a relationship and all that good stuff. It's just successful people are busy, right? Successful people also, like Austin and Kevin, they're going to be in the room for the day. So if they see it valuable enough for them to be in a room for 2 days like this, if it's good enough for them, it's probably good enough for you. The checkout, Eileen, I'm not sure what issue you're having. The checkout is completely secure. It's private. So if you're having issues, you can schedule a call. And we can help you out with that. But with that, guys, listen, we're so blessed. We're honored for you being here today. Thank you for showing up. That's half the battle, is showing up, being here, learning. And so we're very excited for those of you. Congratulations who have already signed up, taken action. We'll be seeing you in 3 weeks from now, Austin. It's crazy. Like, it's going to come
Right.
up so fast. We'll be seeing you for 2 days in Toronto. It's going to be a very, very powerful experience. It's going to be a great time. And with that, anything in wrapping up you want to share, Austin?
No, I hope everybody got value out of today's call. Appreciate Connor, you for leading the panel of Kevin and myself, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone at the Shark Retreat, and I would really suggest that you at least get the middle package where you have that one-on-one interaction amongst the panelists. I think it's extremely valuable. And again, on the marketing side, if you have interest in the video assets of working, with interviews with Kevin, that stuff, never dies, right? So those are opportunities for you to really kind of get the word out. And as Connor mentioned, get people to know who you are. And it's one way to put yourself on the map there. And those assets can be used over and over and over again. And so there's just tremendous value in having this opportunity. So looking forward to seeing everyone there, and hope you're able to take advantage of what we're offering, and just looking forward to where this takes us all. So thanks again, Connor.
Much love. Everyone's still here. Appreciate you, and we'll see you on the other side.